and a warm welcome to Manfeild in Manawatu. It's round 3 of the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Championship. This weekend we passed the halfway point in the series and the teams and drivers are now watching their points tally with interest. Super license points are up for grabs as these youngsters try to make it towards Formula One in the not too distant future. In the past, the Manfeild circuit has been used for the Grand Prix. Let's take a closer look. With design help from F1 legend Chris Amon, Manfeild circuit is 3.3 kilometers long with 8 corners and just 4 meters of elevation change. Toyota turn 1 is a possible overtake. It's tricky through 2, 3 and 4. Then the heavily cambered 5 getting good drive onto Higgins in 6 and then rounding out the long right-hander at 7. And that is a lap. Perfect conditions for qualifying. Let's take a look at what happened. We are underway, and of course this is a 15-minute session, so you really don't have time to mess about. You got to go for it right from the get-go. We're keeping an eye on Zach Schooler.
Oh, big
lock-up. As Lindblad goes to the top with a 103.693. There's Nikita Johnson. He's at the sharp end too, and I think this circuit will suit him. He's definitely dialed in, the young 16-year-old. He's the youngest here. Here's Josh Pearson, another of the Americans. He's in 3rd position. He too will be going back to the States for both testing and the first round of Indy next. So Lindblad, Johnson, Pearson, Tommy Smith going good. 4th at the moment.
Switching Zach Scholar at the moment. He's clearly struggling a lot. He's just come across the line. He has improved a bit, but he's only up to 12th place.
We are now 15 seconds away. And it's still Lindblad, Johnson, Pearson, Smith, Crosby, Boysenroder. We're watching Statty. And now crosses the line. Does he improve? And I think Statty's going to stay. Yeah, I think he's going to stay 9th for now. And he does. And it is going to be Arvid Lindblad who takes the pole position with a 103.693 ahead of Nikita Johnson. That's your front row. Josh Pearson starts 3rd. Tommy Smith back in action in 4th. He'll be happy with that. Crosby, Boysenroder, then Manson, Monteiro of Brazil, Nicholas Statti, Zagazeta, Shin in 11th. Then further down, Zach Schooler. He'll be disappointed with that, having been at the sharp end pole position for the first race. Enzo Ye of Chinese Taipei, 13th. Sean Rashid, Jet Bowling, James Lawley, and Barrett Wolf.
Congratulations, the run continues. Give us a debrief on that session, how difficult it was and so on.
Yeah, no, it wasn't easy. I mean, all week the grip's been really low for everyone, so it's not been easy to drive, and on a track that's so short, there's with not many corners, you really need to be precise because I know that it's going to be so close. So, yeah, it wasn't easy today, but we got the job done again. When
you look ahead to, we're at the midpoint of this championship now, do you get settled? Are you thinking race by race still? What's your approach here at Manfeild?
I want to win every race, so I'm just focused on every time I get in the car, trying to do the best job as possible. The team have given me a really good car, so it's just about me always delivering, and yeah.
Pole is the best way to do it. Let's talk a little bit about the team and the way that you have gelled with that outfit there now over the first few weeks of this championship. And clearly from the get-go it has worked well, Arvid, hasn't it?
Yeah, the performance has been strong. Things are going well. I'm happy, and yeah, as we can see, the results are still good. So it's obviously a good sign. Really grateful to the team because they're always giving me a good car, and hopefully we can keep the streak going a bit longer.
We are ready for racing! Out go the lights and away we go! Good start from Lindblad, a better start from Tommy Smith. Smith's already alongside Nikita. He looks to the inside of Lindblad as they dive down into the first corner. Tommy Smith trying desperately to get into 2nd place. Nikita Johnson's going to have to go around the outside, and he does so, but now grabs 2nd place. Tommy settles for 3rd, Pearson 4th.
Good job by Johnson there to redeem that 2nd position. Thought he was going to lose it on his way in, but he ran around the outside and set himself up nicely. See a few of them sideways out of turn 3 there.
Ooh, a bit of a lock-up there by Pearson as he makes a move on Tommy Smith. The American squeezes the Australian slightly wide. No respect there as Pearson says, out the way. That's an opponent of his next season.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one for Tommy Smith there, getting caught on that outside. As soon as you get on that curve on the outside, you naturally just fall over the back of it being off camber. So This has really put him in a bad spot here. Moved down a few places now under pressure from Sagazeta and Crosby.
Yeah, so poor old Tommy Smith lost out there, and Frill starting to spread out quite quickly. And Huizenroda also making a move now on Pearson. Another lockup on the inside of the last turn, but everybody safely through. Bowling with work to do from his position. And we're on to lap 2, and already the two leaders, Nikita Johnson and Lindblad out front, are pulling away from this battle in third place as around the outside Huizenroda, but Manson up the inside. It's all happening here.
Nice dive by Manson. Is he able to hold on to it? It's going to be hard because the inside line on the other side, and Tommy Smith now up the inside as well.
Smith got a third and a fourth here this time last year, so he knows the track and likes the track, but this is his first round now. Crosby up the inside of his countryman. And Sagazeta just taking to the grass for a second. Josh Pearson in, third position, just set the fastest lap, a 1:04.7. So he too on the paces. Round the outside on Statty goes Michael Shin, and he has to take to the grass for a moment. Just one wheel off, Statty defending well.
I feel like now we're getting to this halfway point of the championship. The elbows are starting to come out. Not being as nice to each other. You can see a couple of moves, running each other out of road a bit more than we've seen in the past. It's good to see the three Kiwis up the sharp end of the field at the moment, all battling away, and I can see Schooler there. He is pushing on hard. He knows where he's been running before. He's been up the front, running with Lindblad, running with Johnson and Pearson, so he wants to get back in there in that fight.
Let me ask you a strategy question. As you know, reverse grid for the top 8 for race 2, and Schooler's in 8th position, which means he would start, if he stayed in 8th, from pole for race 2, or do you push on?
You push on. Simple as that. You keep pressing on. You want to make as many positions as you possibly can. Head down. Don't worry about the reverse grid race. That's a bonus.
Let's head down to Greg Rust.
Top of the pit building there, watching the M2 team, and one of the sort of animated conversations was to Matthias Sagazeta. So he's in full attack mode at the moment. They're urging him, they're willing him on, but they've also got to contemplate an inter-team battle in that scenario that he's in. So in order to get it done, it's got to be done clean. So the youngster from Peru, who's off to Dams this year and Formula 3, pushing hard at the moment.
Yeah, you want to be able to try and clear him as quick as you can. As you can see, he's getting held up just a little bit now, but he's also got pressure from behind as well, so that makes it a bit harder to place the car wherever you want to be able to make the move. As you can see there, he shows his nose, and what that does is it puts the car in the mirror for Yi there to be able to, try and put him off a little bit.
It's still Arvid Lindblad as he crosses the line this time. It was 3.5. It's now 4. 4 seconds he leads this race, and Nikita Johnson, try as he might, just can't get on the same pace, and he's got his own world filled with Pearson in his mirrors. Tommy Smith has dropped behind Huizenroda, so the two Aussies continue their battle. That was Enzo Ye, just out of our commentary position, just getting not wide there, and finally Sagazeta making the move. Look, here we go.
So there's just a lock-up from Enzo Ye up the inside.
Arvid Lindblad, as he comes to the line, the last lap board is out for the young Brit. 17 years of age, and surely on the fast track. He came here to get super license points. We all believe that he'll have the 440 by the time he leaves these shores, and that will put him in a great reserve position. If any of the top 4 drivers in Formula 1 can't perform for any reason, then he will be ready. And we don't need to tell you what has happened at Red Bull in the last year with Perez, Lawson, and so many others in that mix, including Colapinto. But now, remember this name, Arvid Lindblad, because he is in that mix now.
He seriously is. To be able to come here and do what he's doing in this championship has been super impressive. To see him navigate his way around turn 6 for the last time. He'll be able to see the cars as you're exiting a corner, they're coming into it. You know you've got this nice big gap.
Yep, here he comes down the back straight, and he's just absolutely pulverized the field. This has been a masterclass. A little bit of Manawatu magic as Arvid Lindblad takes the checkered flag in style. Well done. Check on the results then. Another win for Arvid Lindblad, and Nikita Johnson in second, Pearson in third. And then it's Australia's Huizenrode and Australia's Tommy Smith back in the championship. Sebastian Manson of New Zealand holds off fellow Kiwi Alex Crosby for 7th. Zach Skula is 8th. Monteiro of Brazil 9th. Nicholas Stati 10th. And Michael Shin 11th. Further down, Matthias Zagazeta did get ahead of Enzo Ye, and Sean Rashid went with him. They got 12th, 13th and 14th. Jet Bowling 15th. James Lawley and Barrett Wolf.
Was that perfection? Was there more that you are still wanting from the car? Because it looked like the execution could not have been any better. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. No, it felt good to drive, and I was really comfortable in the car, and the team, yeah, they gave me an amazing car, and I was able to do the job. So really happy with the result today. I think the pace was really strong, and yeah, it was great fun out there, and looking forward to tomorrow.
The M2 team tell me that on Thursday you worked through quite a list of what you wanted from the car, and together, collectively, you worked to improve it. You're pushing each other. I mean, this is a part of the story in why you have just had the result you have.
Yeah. I wasn't too happy on Thursday, and I said that, and we've worked hard over the last 2 days, and we've improved the package. So yeah, I'm really happy and really grateful to them, because it's a partnership, and I think we're pushing each other. So looking forward to first quali tomorrow, trying to do the job again, and then looking forward to the reverse in race 2.
Race 1 here at Manfeild, race 7 of the championship. That is a sweet one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Full press attack then from the number 4, Arvid Lindblad. It's no wonder the fans want an autograph, as we all know the odds are he's on the path to Formula 1. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Manfeild Motorsport Park, Chris Amon, home to Toyota New Zealand, as the drivers and teams prepare for race 2. There are a few world-class Peruvian drivers, but Matthias Zagazeta is one on his way. We caught up with him.
Where did the love, the connection, the passion for motor racing come from for you?
Well, it's very interesting. I just loved cars, loved racing since I was 1 year old, 2 years old. So I remember watching pictures from Christmas. I got gifted some small race cars. So I guess that's where the passion came out. I just loved racing with my cars, and then I finally jumped in a go-kart later on, but it was just a passion that was born into me.
You are good friends, if I'm right here, with Charlie Wirtz, Roman Belinsky, guys who have been success stories in CTFROC in New Zealand. Did you talk to them before coming out, and what did they tell you to expect?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Charlie was my teammate last year. Roman, I know him since British F4, so two good friends, two really good people as well, so, and good drivers. So it's really good to see their point of view of the championship. It's fantastic to be here also, so they really pushed me a little bit also, like, you should come, you should go. It's a nice experience, and to be honest, I've had a fantastic time already here in New Zealand, so really learning a lot, really enjoying, and feeling super ready for the main season.
Tell me about that first win in Taupo, what that meant to you, and how important that was for the tone for the rest of this championship.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I think it was very important to get a first weekend out the way. We got some really decent results. I think P2 also in the feature race was quite good, and that was the main race for us. So it was a shame we couldn't keep the lead for that one, but I still was quite happy with P1 and P2 in the weekend. I think then in Hampton Downs round 2 was really complicated. Some things I could have done better as well from my side. So it's all about the learning and to improve and staying sharp. So now for this weekend, I'm really excited and really ready to bounce back as well.
We're talking at the midpoint of the championship. What's the approach from here? Is it go for broke, as many wins as you can, or is it more about consistency?
Well, it's a bit of both. You'll of course want to win all the races you can, but we also have to be quite consistent. We saw how much damage you can do from having a bad weekend, and it's really important to collect as many points as you can, be consistent. And overall, in every championship, it's like that. But in this championship, I would say a little bit more because of the fact that everyone scores points. So yeah, I think for now it's just I need to focus on my job, and that's to try and win the races and just try to be consistent.
In about 6 weeks' time, you'll be across the other side of the Tasman at Albert Park in Melbourne for the first round of Formula 3. You're with a new team this year. Tell us about that and how much this time in New Zealand is going to help that championship, that program.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think Melbourne is a fantastic track. It's a very nice city as well. Really enjoyed racing there last year. I'm really looking forward to going back, and now with Dams, a French team, a very, very good team, very well known. They're in Formula 2 and they have a very good team around them, so I'm super excited to see what the season can bring, and I'm pretty sure we'll achieve some really good results together. But of course, all these 5 weeks of preparation really helps me and really gets an upper hand on the other drivers that have not been driving as much or actually racing in this period. So it's fantastic for me to get ready and go to Melbourne with the best car possible, with the best feeling as well, and be ready, just myself.
We hope that goes well for you. Can we finish with a thought on the reaction to what you're doing back home? I mean, obviously over the years we've seen a number of Brazilian drivers doing well in Formula 1 and IndyCar and so on. The reaction to Franco Colapinto in Argentina and so on. What about in Peru? And am I right in saying, I think there was only one racetrack at home for you, so this is quite a breakout to do something different, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not many racetracks in Peru, to be honest, but I see a lot of people are starting to really like racing, start motorsport, they like Formula 1. But overall, I think that the ambition and the fan bases in South America are incredible. And we saw it with Colapinto in Argentina. In Peru, I would not be surprised if we see something similar or as crazy, because honestly, for now, the support that I receive from everyone back home is fantastic. And I'm just getting started. I hope I can make it to Formula 1 as well. And I'm pretty sure if we do, we would have the same amount of exposure, the same amount of support as well from all the people back home. And it's really nice to see. It's really nice for me. It fills me up with confidence and happiness, so it's good.
It's been great to chat. Ride
Perfect.
that wave of support, and we hope 2025 is a great year for you.
Thank you.
Hello and a warm welcome to Manfeild. I love days like this because it really does test the teams, the drivers and everybody involved. It is Zach Schooler in pole position, having finished 8th yesterday. Crosby alongside him. Sebastian Manson starts 3rd. Tommy Smith coming into the championship, the Australian, in 4th position. Patrick Huizenroda in 5th place and Nikita Johnson in 6th. Then it's our championship leader, Arvid Lindblad, and Josh Pearson, one of the Americans, alongside him, Nicholas Monteiro and Nicholas Stati, Michael Shin and Zagazeta. Pearson, though, not back to 8th position through a penalty. Rashid and Enzo Ye of Chinese Taipei, Jet Bowling of the USA, James Lawley of Canada, and Barrett Wolf rounds out our grid. Out go the lights, away we go. Crosby gets a little bit of wheel spin. Schooler gets away well. But it is Crosby. Crosby, despite that wheel spin, has got a flyer. Monteiro onto the grass, side by side. Schooler up the inside. Manson sets into 2nd and 3rd place. Nikita Johnson goes round the outside. Where's Lindblad? Good start, good clean start by Schooler, and Schooler leads into Splash for the first time. And Crosby and Manson 2nd and 3rd, and Nikita Johnson just squeezing through there into 4th. Side by side with Tommy Smith. Smith, though, holding him off, but Smith on the outside here. And he's got to be careful. It's cambered on the outside, so you've got a bit of an advantage to stay in tuck. But down the back straight, Caleb, good clean start. Schooler's done a good job. He's gapped 2nd place Crosby to 2 seconds at the moment, but this could be Crosby's best opportunity. He got a 7th in race 1, but this is tricky, very tricky indeed. Although I have to say, Caleb, you've been around this series for a long time. Have you ever seen a group so clean? We've had no safety cars, no nothing. I've probably jinxed it now.
Schooler's doing a really good job, but
doing.
I mean, you're so far out ahead now. You have to be thinking in the back of your head, if it rains later on, you need to save that tyre. He's got such a gap now, he can just control the race. Alex is fighting hard for that position. This is going to be where the battle is.
Caleb, tell us just how the wet versus dry affects. If we start getting a dry line, and we're getting it now, how does that affect the guys on the dry tyres, and how does it affect the guys on the wet tyres?
I mean, the slick is just so much more, obviously, but when you're going down the straight line speed is a lot higher, the corner speed's a lot higher.
Arvid Lindblad starting to make his way through this field, and he's coming into the last complex now as Manson trying to hold off Nikita Johnson as they cross the line, almost side by side. Nikita Johnson will go to the outside, Crosby just ahead of them as they dive into Toyota. Manson will hold the line, Pearson waiting for his chance as well, and we watch for where Lindblad's going to pop out. He's right on the inside of Toyota. The two going at it into Splash. Nikita Johnson gets the advantage just, but Manson comes back and then Pearson looks to the inside. A real ding-dong battle between the three of them. Just what we wanted.
A beautiful switch from Manson there. He's just missed out of the hairpin. Nikita Johnson's done a very good job to get past him and block that line. Now Pearson's coming back as Seb.
Yeah, they're still side by side. Down the back straight they come towards Higgins. And Higgins is an interesting corner too. You can kind of get a slingshot. The normal line is where Pearson is, but you can go around the outside as Manson is and get good drive, but not probably in these conditions. Pearson, by the way, I mentioned that he got a third yesterday, but he was dropped to 5th place, having not given enough racing room to Tommy Smith in race 1, and so therefore got penalised.
Now Crosby under pressure.
Yeah, big time.
Crosby's done this track before. He's had good results. He should be able to hold off Nikita Johnson, but Nikita Johnson looking fast.
Mistake by Enzo Ye as he goes wide. Through comes Shin. Shin trying to make it stick round the outside, and does so. Unless Enzo can come back. There's Lindblad right in the thick of it. He hasn't had to do this kind of racing yet so far in this championship. We'll see what medal he's got. He uses the camber nicely, but he's tucked in behind Enzo Ye now as they go down the back straight. Can he get a slingshot into Higgins, I wonder?
I mean, this is awesome to see Arvid really going at it. I mean, obviously, in the back of your head, you've got that championship. But then, again, everybody's out there to win, and he's out there to try and give it a good shot.
Schooler, over 11 seconds. This is pretty monumental, and he needed this.
So looking at the times here, Arvid, his times have come up exactly to nearly where these wet guys are going. So those slick tyres definitely coming up. As he's now made a move on Michael Shin. So this is 2 slick guys. The slicks obviously coming in really hot now. We're only halfway through this race. It's going to be really exciting to see how much Arvid and Michael Shin can fight for the front.
Look at this, 3 wide.
3 wide into turn 1. This is exactly what Arvid's going to be wanting. He's going to be sitting there, hunting down, saying this is exactly what I want. This is a good battle here. This is perfect.
Zagazeta at the back of it, and oh no! Crosby's out, Manson's out, Zagazeta gets away with it. Both of them on the grass.
This is what we can see happen when the track starts to dry and those tyres start to overheat. Crosby just a little bit wide through splash. That's a real shame for Seb there. So obviously Alex has spun. Seb tried to avoid, but Crosby's just flicked his left rear by the looks of it. And Crosby.
Yeah, and he'll want to get out of there if those flames keep going. But here's the incident. Caleb, what do you see? Oh, just Crosby on his own.
So Crosby's just obviously fired into splash. He's got that right rear onto those curbs. The paint in the rain's just so slippery. And honestly, poor Seb was just an innocent bystander then. So obviously the safety car's just come out, and Arvid will not be happy because it's just started to rain. The rain is starting to come down now. He's just ruins everything for him, doesn't it? That is typical motor racing. That is
isn't it?
And it's typical Manfeild. You get yourself sorted, you're on the way, and then the rain just starts to come in.
Plenty of action in the pit lane. Huizenroda is in. It looks as they're going to change to wets for him, and there's Crosby's broken car. Off goes the wing. Nice souvenir for somebody in the crowd, and they'll have to remove that.
Somebody that won't be very happy with that safety car will be Zach Schooler.
Yes, of course, 13. Yeah, in all of that melee, we forgot about the fact that he built almost half a lap, 13 seconds.
I hope he's looked after a bit of tyre because Nikita Johnston was fast and he was racing towards the later on in that stint.
Here we go then. Away we go. Nikita Johnson trying to catch, as is Pearson, the 2 Americans, and the Brazilian in 4th, all trying to catch Schooler, but he got away well into Toyota.
Zach with the perfect restart there, made a manageable gap. And this is where it becomes interesting with the Arvid on the slick tyre and everybody around the wet, 3 wide into splash.
Yeah, he's slowing them all down at the moment, isn't he? Because he's got to try to find grip, and they're going to try and get by him. Here goes Enzo Ye. He's past him.
Jet Bowling around the outside there.
Good boy. Jet Bowling showing some wet weather skills. And Statty, his teammate, doing the same as well. He's behind Lindblad. The 2 Kiwi boys have finally got a chance to race with Lindblad, and Bowling is side by side with Lindblad. Lindblad just getting ahead on the slick tyres, but this is treacherous for the Red Bull Junior. First time we've really put him under pressure as Lawley gets out of shape in Higgins, and he too trying to take on Lindblad. Boy, he is totally surrounded.
Man, Lindblad must have so much going on in his mind right now. He wants to race, but remember, he's got a championship. He just has to survive, as everybody else around him's just trying to get in front of him.
I know, and DNF here, in this championship is a no-no. You've got to try. Everybody scores points wherever you finish. What you can't do is not finish. Well, this is a good battle. The 22 is Jet Bowling. His teammate is Nicholas Statty.
And I can tell you right now, your biggest opponent in any racing or any sport is your teammate. So he'll be really trying to get... Oh, and he's done the dummy.
Up the inside of Higgins, and this is tough for Bowling because there's so little grip, but he's done it, and that's nicely done. Kept his head there. You could easily lose concentration when somebody's coming up the inside and you feel like you're under trouble. We're on the final lap. Now, Nikita Johnson's done a good job. He's taken a little bit out of Schooler in the last few laps. You can see it visually for yourself. I don't think he's going to be clear enough to make a move. What do you say?
No, I don't. I mean, Zach's just done an absolutely awesome race. These guys are nearly 6/10 a lap quicker than the rest of the field.
Wow.
So these guys are just out the front, pushing as hard as they can, kept it on the road, had a good fight.
Zach Schooler, second in the championship. He really is the man that's come from nowhere. But now he's going places with Toyota. Zach Schooler comes out of the last corner and takes the checkered flag here at Manfeild. What a win! Confirmation of the result then. Zach Schooler takes the win. Nikita Johnson second. Josh Pearson in third. That's your podium. Monteiro fourth. Yeh in fifth. Rashid sixth. Tommy Smith seventh. Huizenrode eighth. Nicholas Stati ninth. Chet Bowling 10th. James Lawley in 11th. Then it's Barrett Wolf. That's his best result too in 12th. Zagazeta in 13th for Peru. Lindblad a disappointed 14th, but he kept it clean. Michael Shin 15th. Alex Crosby 16th. And Sebastian Manson no finish.
How does that feel, Zach?
Yeah, no, it feels really, really good. You know, it's a reverse grid win, but it's still pretty cool. You know, we were pretty dominant in that race. I think we got to 12 seconds before the safety car came out. So, yeah, thanks to the whole team. The car was really, really good.
At about the third race distance, kind of with the temperature, the weather looked like it might to start to favour the slick tyres, and yet you were still banking really good lap times.
Yeah, I just felt like it kept getting better and better. The drier was, the quicker we were going. So I didn't mind that it was getting dry, and then started to rain a bit at the end, but pace was still pretty good.
All right, pressure from Nikita. Were you looking at the mirrors? Were you just focused on your own thing? How did you play that final part of the race?
I felt like we had it pretty covered. You know, the gap wasn't really changing too much, and, you know, I didn't really feel too much pressure.
Schooler then keeping the pressure on the championship leader Lindblad with that win. Now, can he keep it up as we head to the feature race after this? Welcome back to Manfeild Park, where the weather has taken a turn for the worst. It's brollies up and visors down for the competitors as we head for our first wet weather qualifying. Impressively, it was Kiwi Sebastian Manson with a 108.799, just 0.2 of a second off a front row start. He starts third. American 16-year-old Nikita Johnson did a 108.555, just 0.02 of a second off the pole, one of the closest qualifying in the history of the sport. But it was, once again, Arvid Lindblad with a 108.553 with the pole. So the grid for the feature race looks like this. Lindblad and Johnson on row 1, then Manson and Huizenrode, Zagazeta and Yeh row 3, then Smith, Schooler, Shin, Pearson 10th, Rashid behind him, then it's Bowling, Crosby, Lawley, Stati and Barrett Wolf rounding out the 17th.
Congratulations. How difficult was that? What were the grip levels like as the session continued to unfold?
The grip was pretty high. I mean, with the way the track surface is, it's quite grippy here in the rain. We're almost doing dry lines. In the end, it was okay. It was a bit difficult because there's quite a lot of guys who were a bit slower around me, so I had to always keep lifting off, and I wasn't able to get into a proper rhythm. So I wasn't able to really extract the most from the tyre when it was there, but still happy to be on pole.
This is something a little bit different. We've had beautiful conditions in New Zealand so far for the opening rounds of the championship. Wet conditions today. What sort of feeling did you? I mean, you wet or dry? It seems good for you, Arvid, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, no, I was looking forward to it when I saw it started to rain. I thought, this would be fun. It's a different challenge and another opportunity for me to try to show off. So I wasn't able to really do that today. I mean, it's on pole, but not by much. But we'll be hopefully looking to be a bit better in the races.
Oh, cool. Final one for you. Just the way that the session unfolded. There were moments there regularly for the fans where the top of the timing monitor kept changing. It looked like you sort of reset and then had another go, dug deep. Did you feel like you always had the ability to get the pole position, or was it a challenge for you in that regard?
In the beginning, my engineer was keeping me updated on what the pace was, and I was very confident at that point because I knew what I had left. But then, yeah, like I said, I had to keep lifting off. because of the guys in front, and I was never able to get into proper rhythm. So I think, yeah, it's a bit closer than I'd like, but I think the speed was good all throughout.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, we've been told from race control there will be a rolling start. That'll be happy for the Americans. Nikita Johnson starts alongside Arvid Lindblad. And yes, you can see the lap counter on the top left there, counting down the laps. That's because we are under racing conditions in terms of the race actually being started under safety. But the safety car and the officials aren't ready to let them go racing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all want to go racing. Honestly, the track's looking better and better the more those cars are out there. So they've made the right decision. They're getting rid of a lot of the water. Let's hope we can go racing. I know as a driver, through this time, you just have to stay focused.
Well, just as you say that, the red flag comes out on lap 5. And unfortunately, the worst situation possible, which is we are stopping proceedings now. We'll see what the time limit is, but we may get going again. But for now, anyway, this is going to be a stoppage. They'll bring them in, and we will see what the officials want to do after that. And we'll see if the conditions can or will improve. I'm delighted to say the conditions have improved. The lights have gone out. We're coming into the final complex, led by the number 4, Arvid Lindblad. He starts to accelerate now. And yes, he's chosen to really give them a challenge. Nikita Johnson's gone with him. Big rooster tails, the vision very tough indeed as the leading 4 pull away from the rest of the field as they head down to turn 1 Toyota at the restart. We are finally racing 8 laps into this 27-lap race, and Lindblad leads the way. Nikita Johnson, though, has gone with him, the young 16-year-old from Florida.
I mean, you can just see the amount of water down this front straight of the big rooster tails. So I can tell you right now, Arvid can see perfectly clear. It's the guys behind him. But also you can use this as a bit of strategy. If you're close enough to the car in front and you're hiding in their tail, they don't know where you're going to make your move. It's going to be the outside or the inside. Yeah, this is a real battle starting to happen here between Manson and Patrick.
Yeah, I love this. Yeah, Manson's almost hidden, as you say. Look at that. You can't see him right now. Now he pops out. It's a Toyota on Manson. Up the inside at Higgins. Oh, Manson gets a wiggle on. And Huizenrode trying desperately to stay straight. Get the drive, but he's lost out to Manson. And in fact, others now, including Enzo Ye, are catching up. Zagazetta's there too in the 8. Good battle here, the Peruvian on the outside. Manson still holding in 3rd position, but he's losing ground to the 2 leaders, Lindblad and Johnson.
So that was really interesting there. It actually looked like Seb Manson and Patrick nearly interlocked wheels.
Yeah, weird, wasn't it?
Higgins. So, but Patrick's looking fast. Manson's looking in his mirrors. They need to be getting their head down and chasing these 2 front guys. Otherwise, they're just going to be too far in front.
Yeah, some movement. Crosby getting forward. Jet Bowling getting forward. As you can see, Schooler and Smith almost together. This is going to be big. Oh, I knew that was going to be tight, but Schooler's pulled out of it quite sensibly. Tommy Smith in the mood. No question about it on Australia Day. And the Kiwi thinks better of it. 2nd in the championship, stays 8th. And somebody's gone off just on the exit of the last corner. And as we watch this battle between Schooler and Shin, a car is trying to get going again. I think it's Lawley. It is. It's the 88 of the Canadian Lawley, and he looks as though he's got suspension damage. And look at the distance coming in there. Ah, yeah. He'd gone around before the exit, and yeah, then took quite a ride. Arvid Lindblad. He starts to accelerate earlier than before. Nikita Johnson has reacted well. Manson too. Can they stay with him as he comes out of the final quarter? And already he's pulled a couple of car lengths as they cross the line again to start lap 15. Nikita Johnson dives out of the rooster tail. Manson trying to defend from Huizenrode. Huizenrode of Australia gets a nice tight line and gets alongside Manson. Does he pass him? Yes. Beautifully done by the Aussie. David Brabham in his corner. Manson coming back and splash. That's a very dicey move by Manson, but the 17-year-old showing no fear whatsoever. Lindblad pulling away, the gap half a second already. Oh, off goes the 13. That's Barrett Wolf. Off track. Well, he's got Make-A-Wish on the side of the car, and his wish right now is get me out of this gravel trap. And Now look at this. Monteiro under pressure from Crosby, bowling ahead of both of them. Here comes Rashid, side by side with Crosby. Great racing. Oh, sideways goes the Brazilian. A little bit of a samba dance on for him. Crosby will pounce as they dive into the cambered left-hander. Nip and tuck between all four of them. And the spray is such that you can hardly see through it as they head towards Higgins again.
These guys have been nearly side by side.
Oh! Yeah.
These guys have been side by side nearly an entire lap.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Steady pulls away with it with a big slide into the dipper.
Well, it's ironic because Crosby went back to the States and he's been racing with Statty all year. So they know each other all too well. But of course, Crosby stepping down a little bit because he'd done the FR Series last year. I think it was a wise move, though. He didn't know the tracks in America, so just felt that F4 would give him a better way of learning it. Now, Arvin Lindblad, 1.2 seconds it was. It's now 1.3. So Nikita's keeping him honest and has just done his fastest lap, a 109.5. That's his personal fastest lap, and a 109.4, Arvin Lindblad. So there's just a tenth between them. And if he can maintain that, Nikita is in with a chance as this track starts to dry. And how much is it now changing both the car itself and the track?
Oh, just every lap. And I mean, obviously you've seen Nikita now only a tenth with an Arvid. But Arvid, where he was strong, was his first lap was already up to that speed. So Arvid had read the track under the safety car conditions. And that's why he's been able to bring that gap up to what it is now. Nikita's now starting to learn the track and able to hunt Arvid back down.
But as it stands, Nikita Johnson would move up to second in the championship, so Skula needs to make some moves. Tommy Smith under pressure from the Chinese Taipei driver, number 77, Enzo Ye. And they are going at it at the moment.
I think you'll find Tommy's actually attacking Enzo as he goes around the outside into one. Enzo defends well, pushing Tommy into the wet stuff. Let's see if we can get a switch back into splash. This is where it starts to get really slippery into splash when that drift rubber on around the outside.
If it finishes this way, Arvid Lindblad would move to 236. Nikita, as I've mentioned, would move to second place on 196. Skula would be 191, and that sets us nicely up for Invercargill if it finishes that way, because Skula, try as he might, can't get out of 8th place at the moment.
This is becoming quite a good little battle here between Enzo, Tommy and Zach. I think Tom's got quite a bit of pace here. He just needs to try and find a way around the car in front, obviously, which is a lot easier from where we're sitting. But he's got some pace in that SCT Logistics car. It looks good. Just a perfect view there. I mean, you can see the dry line now. So anytime you need to make a pass, you need to be going onto that wet line. And I can tell you right now, if I was defending, I'd be forcing the competitor behind me onto the wet line so he can't get past.
One more lap to go then for Arvid Lindblad of Great Britain. He carries the 3 flags, one of Sweden, one of Great Britain, and one of India. That is his heritage, multicultural, as you like, born in Surrey, educated in England, just 17 years of age, and one of the Red Bull Juniors on his way. They'll be watching in Europe and certainly keeping up with his progress, and it has been progress perfect so far. He hasn't really put a foot wrong. Can't doubt him. He looked at the rain, as we all did before this race, and kind of looked a little hesitant. The MC was playing Mr. Blue Sky, the old ELO song, and I was like, that's ironic, but it hasn't affected Lindblad's progress. He's held the gap between himself and Nikita Johnson, but this is a good race by Nikita, one of his best. He's gone toe-to-toe with this man, but no one can stop him. Red Bull and the junior that is Arvid Lindblad take the checkered flag in the feature race, and the number 4 does it again for M2 competition. Confirmation then, Arvid Lindblad with the win. Nikita Johnson second, Huizenrode third, Sebastian Manson in 4th position, Zagazeta of Peru 5th, Ye in 6th, Tommy Smith 7th on Australia Day, Skula 8th, Josh Pearson 9th, Michael Shin 10th, and Sean Rashid, one of his better performances, in 11th. Bowling 12th, Monteiro, Statty, Crosby, Wolf and Lawley. A DNF for him after sliding out of the last corner.
Congratulations. A few challenges along the way, not just the conditions, the safety car, the pause of the race and so on.
Yeah, it was definitely not plain sailing. It would have been nice, I think, if we'd be able to get a complete race, because obviously it was quite short, but I understand for safety reasons why not. It was not easy at the end because it was drying very fast, and I knew that these tyres are very easy to overheat, so I was trying to look after them as best I could, but yeah, happy with how the result.
We go to second place. What a weekend it's been for Nikita Johnson. Another second place there for you. As the race went on, did you feel perhaps in the early phase of it that you might be able to have his measure?
I think a little bit in the beginning, but Arvid was very fast. I was trying to control the tire because we used this in race 2, and it got pretty dry, so my biggest enemy was my tires. I was just trying to make sure I wouldn't go to third, but yeah, I think in the beginning we had a little shot, and then that window closed.
Wet or dry, you've been fantastic here at Manfeild this weekend. That has got to give you some great confidence heading into the year ahead, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
All right, well done. Okay, congratulations. Second, and we go to third place, and he's fought for this one. This will be sweet. We had a change overnight after race control reviewed some things, but today you get to come to victory lane. Nice work, Patrick.
Yeah, exactly. I said I'd be down here, so it's nice to finally get it, be able to stand on the podium. But yeah, really happy. I think the car's been in the window all weekend. Did a good job in qualifying this morning. I knew I had more pace in me, and yeah, got the job done at turn 1 off safety car restart.
When it comes to trophies, Arvid Lindblad of Great Britain is now 3 for 3 as his dominance continues here in New Zealand with just 2 rounds to go. Let's take a look at the standings after 9 races. Lindblad now has a 40-point lead over second place Nikita Johnson, who moves to 196, ahead now of Zach Schooler of New Zealand in third. Josh Pearson of the USA still fourth on 167, just 2 ahead of Huizenrode of Australia. Then it's Zagazeta, Manson, Shin, Brown, Enzo Ye in 10th, and Sean Rashid 11th. Further down, Crosby has 66, just 1 ahead of Monteiro. Then it's Bowling, Statty, Smith, and Barrett Wolf with 38 points. Next, it's heading down south to Teretonga. We'll see you then.